Hey, boys and girls, weather report for Thursday, August 19th, 2021. And I want to mention that there will not be a weather report Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week. I have got to go out of town, so I will be gone, though we might do something on Wednesday and Thursday that is not a weather report. But I need 2 days to prepare for my out of town, which happens on Friday. So anyway, just want to get that out of the way. And let's see. So we hate all non-existent mythical things. That's what the thumbnail's about. Particularly fucking Santa, because I don't want to be nice all year, and I'm really sick of Santa just basically dominating every choice I make. I mean, I don't necessarily want to be in a good mood or, like constantly be polite or never, be good all year long. I mean, that's what Santa wants. And
it's just too much pressure to put on a person.
It is. Like
being
sometimes
good all year long.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. I've been following
his list out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been following his moral values for years.
I know. And I'm just tired of it. I hate Santa.
Yep.
She isn't listening, is she?
No.
Okay. Okay. Because
we're not going to read it out loud, but I think we found the solution here. We have obviously a qualified professional who has prescribed.
Okay, David, you have to promise me that we can hear your granddaughter, but you have to promise me that she cannot hear us.
She cannot. I'm telling you this all the time. I got headphones on. I let her talk to you for 2 seconds a minute.
Okay, could you put that in writing in an email, perhaps?
I will. I'll have my lawyer send you something.
Because I'm not going to read raw nakedness quote unless you give it to me in writing. Anyway. Yes, and raw nakedness, we have a child on board. She can't hear us, but you never know. Well, she might have super hearing. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, so what else we got going on today, boys and girls?
Well, let's see. Prophet Azad did a good. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, Prophet Azad did a good critique of William Lane Craig's hidden arguments that he'll just kind of throw in there when he's doing his Kalam cosmological argument. And so y'all might take a look at that. You've probably heard it before and agree with him, but he tries to sneak a lot of assumptions in with his main argument there.
Good.
So it's in the description, I hope.
It will be. You remember my whole computer crashed about 5 minutes ago.
So it came out today. It's on the Prophet of Zod channel. So y'all can probably find it on your own as well.
Yep. And I want to mention that Brainbug he does these Conservapedia videos.
Yeah, he does a critique of them, yeah.
And he did one on weed just the other day. I'm going to link that in the description.
I wish I could find a fundamentalist creationist site to always critique, because that just seems to be the thing. Each skeptic atheist is getting Jeffrey Spatchcock or Jefferson Spatchcock will do Darth Dawkins as well as a few others. Like he did a totally non-Darth Dawkins one yesterday. Jay Patchett will cover praise. I don't know who else, but
I don't know. It's already been done, but I've got that directory of the emails from creation.com and David, some Rives ministry. Is it some Rives ministry? I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
David Rives. And then I've got the one from Kirk Durston, and I got the one from Ken Ham. And we should go over those a little more often. But anyway, so that is Brainbug's video, and that is linked in the description. And he does a really good job on those, and I think they're about 10 minutes long. And let's see. There is Atheist Edge did this whole series of 7 parts. He signed up for Richard Carrier's critical thinking course, which he charges $50 for. $49.99. But come on, let's get fucking real. It's $50.
Yeah, pocket a penny there, buddy. Round up.
Yeah. Stop the cheating bullshit. But anyway, so he has a whole series on it, and I just caught it today, a little bit of it, and I think that's worth checking out. And I will put that in the description. So thought that was interesting because I think he did the 6th part today, the finale. So he did the last episode today. So that might be cool to watch. What else we got?
Let's see. I don't have the link to it, but Myth Vision did a nice long live session with Robert M. Price today. He does those quite regularly. It was pretty good.
I don't know what you mean by I don't have the link to it.
Oh, okay. I get you. Coming up.
I don't know what that means.
I tell you what, raw nakedness is just a font of wisdom.
Really? On Santa?
Well, now she's saying everyone needs their nemesis.
Ooh, Santa is our nemesis. We hate Santa. That's why we have that SNATA, Saturday Night at the Atheist. It's I don't know if you know it or not, but you know, if you rearrange the letters, it says Santa.
Yeah.
So.
Or Satan. But anyway, let me get that Myth Vision.
What? Satan? How do you get Satan out of that?
Satan out of Santa?
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
I don't know what you mean.
Whoops. All right. Dessel has a interesting observation.
Yeah, did I watch that? I saw that. I thought I watched a little bit of that.
You know,
I don't know if I finished it. Yeah.
Since we're doing a series, a perpetual series called Weather Report, instead of side chat, we need to call our participants storm chasers.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Storm chasers. I like that. We got a lot of storm chasers.
Speaking of storms, I had a bad storm here today. They were talking about a tornado, but they always say there's a threat, but we never get them here ever.
This has been such a mild August so far.
Yeah.
It's just for us, in North Texas, it's just been really nice. But
not that hot, yeah.
We've had showers, a lot of showers that have been in clouds that have been dampening the heat.
Yeah. We just got a lot of heavy rain today.
So
and it didn't even get windy either, too. I don't know what the hell they were talking about. This tornado that was going to hit, I don't know, 8 or 10 towns away or something. They said it possible, but didn't even get windy here, really. But
yeah, that's almost worrisome when there's tornadoes in the area. When you have that real, there'll be a tornado and then right next door, it's just still as hell.
Yeah.
Kind of freaky. So should we show this thing? Sure. So Icarus brought us this Oppy thing? Or was it?
It was a paper, yeah.
Who brought it?
Icarus. It was just some Google Drive. It might have been his, but where he shared it. I put the link to Myth Vision.
Yeah, that's linked in the description. Anyway, so he gets into causes, which is kind of cool because when you really analyze causes, it's a very interesting bit of philosophy, analyzing different kinds of causes, final cause and material cause and all of that. And this might be a very, very good paper to read. So I put it in the description. I just heard about it a few minutes ago. So
apparently it's front. It looks like an excerpt because it's the pagination is like that, and then it says Coons and Oppy. So
Okay, so they wrote a book.
I don't know if it's a book. Like I said, I don't know much about the source. I think Icarus may have put a link to where it came from. Hold on, let me go to.
Yeah, maybe it might have come out of. Maybe it came out of Oppy's book. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like an excerpt from something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he did write about that. I didn't read his book, but he talked about it. And he actually uses that causality type argument with, I don't know if you remember, Doc Dawkins' little, brief debate with him, a month ago or so. And Oppy was talking about causality in that.
Okay, and then let's see how creation taught me real science. What do we got here? Creation. We got Pelagia, and we have Dawn Exodus on Polystrate Fossils, moon dust, and other creationist nonsense. So let's see here. Hang on a second. I got to get all these links straightened out in the description, or my OCD will not let me proceed. You know how that works.
Jay says he has something for you. Said I've got something for you guys. I don't know what.
Okay, let me just shoot him an invite because nobody else got an invite so far. So anyway, I've linked three different videos on Polystrate Fossils because SFT in that some hangout he did the other day that we took a look at, he was showing all those Polystrate fossils in the background, which creationists, that's what creationists name them. That's not what they're called. They're called upright fossils, and we've known about them forever. And I think these three videos do a pretty good job of telling you what you need to know about them. Particularly the one by Dawn Exodus. I don't know who that is. Dawn Exodus 2. I may play a little bit of that one. So now I got a cat. Cat, do you realize how busy I am? Dude, don't look at me like that.
We need to get Raw Nakedness in here and just give her the show because she's putting out such good one-liners.
Are you putting them up?
Yeah. You can't spell hatred without a red hat.
I already put that one up. Didn't you see that?
No, because I was looking for that myth vision thing.
Oh, okay. Did you find it?
Behind the scenes here, guys. We are a grade A production with production values. Never mind the fact that we should have probably prepared all this ahead of time, but still, we're just working here beside the scenes in the weather report, meteorology center, and hoping our storm chasers will do us a solid and bring us some on the spot, man on the street kind of news. By the way, Kafai made this observation, and I agree. You can hate God even if you don't believe that he or she or it or they exist. It's just like, how do you feel about a character in a show or a comic book or a novel? So, and like I don't like Joffrey Baratheon. Or that guy that did all that torturing. I can't remember his name on Game of Thrones, but anyway, you can dislike a fictional character, but that doesn't mean they're real.
That's right. Doesn't make them any more real. That's right. You can hate Spider-Man. You can hate Superman. I can hate lots of things. I can hate my granddaughter's stuffed animals. I can hate they're not very real, but physically, but not no consciousness there.
Ooh, Germania is in the house. I just had an SCP moment.
Yeah, we should we open it up? I'm not sure if I'm able to. I have so many things I'm doing right now that
Lots of things going on in the.
Lots of things going.
What
I don't
did
think
you
it would
want to
do us
go?
any harm to let people in.
Yeah.
Probably not.
What did you want to go over? Anything? Did you have anything in
Well,
mind?
there was that Mark Rito Tangelo thing that we've been putting off.
Yeah.
Bring it up. Set it to 1 hour 55 minutes.
Yep. But anyway, I have this, which is not the Mark Rito Tangelo thing.
Okay.
This is Polystrate trees, so or fossils or whatever the fuck they are.
Is that Tony Reed or who is it?
This is somebody called Don Exodus 2,
Okay.
and he has 22,500 views on this thing. So I don't know who he is. Do you know who he is?
I do not.
Well, we should know who he is
don't.
because, damn.
Yeah.
So you want me to put the?
Oh, this is from 2009.
That's how old the video? Oh, yeah. It does say that on there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, once again, Raw Neckiness already commented that he was an old school atheist.
Oh, okay.
She's on the ball today.
She is. Somebody is.
We need to sign her to a contract.
Hey, Dick.
Hey,
What do you got?
okay. You guys like listening to some of John Maddox's wisdom, right?
Oh, we do.
Of course.
Oh, we
do.
love it. We love it.
Okay.
He's got
So,
such wisdom. Such
You
wisdom.
got some?
Yep. I put a link in the private chat here. It's to Praise's stream. Since I'm on my phone, I couldn't get the URL. I couldn't get a URL of the actual timestamp. But go to about 3 hours in. Go to just like the 3 hour mark right there. Speed up to about a 1 1/4. You hear some interesting things from John Maddox.
Ooh,
After
3
you
hours.
hear Praise. Yeah, it's about the 3 hour mark. Yeah, go to the 3 hour mark.
Yeah, I think
You guys-
this is.
you guys might
that's
enjoy
probably,
it.
yeah, go ahead, Jake.
Oh yeah, you guys might enjoy this.
Okay, cool.
I think
Thanks.
that was the one I told you about several days ago, probably.
And
No,
we
this
haven't
was
talked
just-
about it yet?
No, this
No.
was just from last night. This was just from last night.
okay. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
This was just from last night.
Oh, shit. I checked that stream, and he must not have been in there very long, because I was looking for a Maddox sighting.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
near the end.
We have
Okay.
all these.
I always like
The
to
level of
look out for Maddox sightings in the middle of the night,
breakage
because every now and then you'll find a Maddox, a
established
wild
global
Maddox running around
coherent
on one of
base
these
as well as
streams.
on the planet.
And I went
And it's
through this, and I
unparalleled.
didn't see it anywhere.
The
But of course, I click here and there.
in
So.
which
Yep. It's playing,
Yeah.
you know.
established
Last time I clicked
legal
on one of these
precedent
streams, I heard
has
Smokey
been
telling somebody that he murdered
not
his
only
kid.
overturned, but
So I'm a little gun shy.
in many cases,
You may want to pause that. You're playing it.
Oh,
like
I
in our
am?
case,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
You were
trying to
further-
tell you that.
Yeah,
I
you're
just
further.
thought
back.
David was falling asleep.
therefore,
Yeah.
Okay.
So they do talk about that. They are talking. So what the context, to give a little context, if anybody doesn't know what's going on. So Praise has been flip-flopping back and forth quite a bit, obviously, as Praise does, with his, support of Smokey and non-support of Smokey, and then his support of Smokey, and then his non-support of Smokey. And, of course, Praise, or Knock, Raging Atheist, has been having a little bit of fun with this as well. And sure as shit, just as he does a video, just as Praise is like, you know what, I don't care anymore. Smokey can do his thing. Let's talk about problems with what Thick Shades has said. In the very same stream, Bill comes in there. I can't remember his YouTube name, but he's a fundy from across the pond.
right.
And he comes in there, and Smokey accuses him of murdering his daughter.
Yep.
Okay, so and apparently this had been months ago. This had been something that happened months ago. These two have
He did it. He did it yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Yeah, but he
Yes.
did it a long time ago. That's what Jay's referring to.
Yeah, there's a history,
Right.
there's a
Already.
history of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what
This is-
so what
right.
Smokey's basically doing is because Bill is an antinomian, he holds to antinomianism, and because his wife holds to that too, they spread that ridiculous doctrine onto their sick daughter and damned her to hell, so they murdered her. That's his
Yeah.
argument.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Bill, so Smokey basically doubles down, triples down, and just basically tells Bill the other day, just says, "Hey, you murdered your daughter," and Bill gets pissed. So he's the raging theist at this point. He's fucking going off,
Right?
and so that, and then Praise turns around and does a video the following day called "The End." I'm done with the drama. And he blocks Smokey, saying, "I'm not going to have anything to do with him anymore." Even though this shit with Bill, he had already talked about this stuff with Bill and with Smokey months ago.
Yeah.
So it's just, but anyway, so they've talked about that. So that's just kind of the Cliff Notes version of what's going on there. Absolutely fucking hilarious, if you ask me. But just this stuff that what Maddox is bringing up has really nothing to do with that.
Okay.
But again, go to the 3 hour mark, because that's kind of where he starts getting into it. He starts getting into what you guys, all atheists, think Christians believe in.
Okay.
Well, this ought to be good.
Okay.
Here we go.
So roll it.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
A small percentage of people eventually figure out that they can control the majority and wave them to and fro. It's one of the reasons that pure democracy always fails.
Okay.
It's no matter of time before.
So that might sound a little off, but he was talking about, like, basically the country is going to shit in this, is going into, shit in a handbasket, is what he was talking about.
Why?
How basically, because basically reason and rationale have gone out the window, even though the majority, but he gives no examples, makes examples that how there's rules of law that have been violated, and they know that they violated it, but like nobody cares. But he gives no, like, the reason I didn't have you go into that is because nothing that he says there is informative at all.
Okay.
He gives no examples at all. But the stuff that he says about atheists afterward is a little bit further into after the 3 hour mark is a little bit more interesting. At least it was for me.
Okay. Rolling.
Or the few figure out how to manipulate the many. And it's happening before our very eyes. We have all these, the level of breakage in established rule of law, both here in the States as well as around the planet. It's unparalleled. And the amount of speed in which well-established legal precedent has been not only overturned, but in many cases admitted to be, like in our case, unconstitutional.
It's further back than what I found.
So it's ahead of this? It's after this?
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, it's after. Yeah, it's after this. You can speed it up to about. You can probably speed it up. He's talking pretty slow.
Hey, before you hit play, I just want to say that when I'm listening to him, I'm trying to figure out if he's any different from my grandfather and his friends down at the feed store, and where they get their feed and their poison and stuff. It's like, is he any different from them? And right now, no.
The pigs today were the pigs. The pigs were eating their feed.
Well, he's referencing things, but he's not giving us examples of where this is actually taking place in reality. Right. So it's like, okay, you seem to know something here, and you're trying to inform these guys of something that just for you seems to be a foregone conclusion.
Right.
But you're not. But for those where it may not be a foregone conclusion, this is not informative in any way, shape, or form. So, but again, this was where he was talking about rules of law. There's another part where he kind of goes into a little, not a tirade, but a little bit of a lecture about what atheists think Christians do. But that's a little bit further in.
Okay, we'll play it.
Yeah.
And yet the judge says, "I know this is unconstitutional. However, I'm going to let it slide." It's like
that's another one of those vague ones.
Then
what judge did
rational discourse and any kind of objective truth is no longer in the equation.
And the audience is left dumbfounded.
Crickets. Crickets.
You're not.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it's coming up after they.
Ride that
Wow.
cow, ride that cow, yeah, ride that horse. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh man. Yep. It is a
Just
really
gotta
good
mention the phrase of
sport
sex
off
life.
of this.
Ending of last night. Don't play it. Like, how did everything? Like, I assume this the meltdown continued.
Well, I don't know. It's like a complex with me that I'll protect the one who's in the wrong. So I validated Smokey there, and then afterwards, I mean, it just ate away. It just ate away at me. You wouldn't believe. But
Good.
I played in front of Gavin, Dwayne, and Olive, and there was some other. And Jesse. And they couldn't believe what they heard. In fact, I don't want to mention the guy's name because I don't want to embarrass, but there was someone in that group that actually cried, and that hit me pretty big. Because I can't support someone.
At what point did they not believe anything that they heard there? What Smokey said to Bill, this had happened months ago. All
And
Smokey was doing was reiterating something that he had already accused Bill of a couple, 3 months ago. So exactly, how was this unbelievable to them?
Yeah, I think it was probably hearing it delivered in the way it was delivered, because that was the first I'd ever heard it. And if you were privy to that for the first time, it was pretty fucking hard to take for a parent.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I don't give a shit who I don't give a shit who it is that lost their kid. To say that to anybody, no matter how despicable they are, is an act of just unbelievable cruelty, and I can't fathom what he did. But so anyway, Praise is apparently, well, you know, he's a special child. He doesn't remember things from like a moment ago.
He's a special boy.
He's our special boy. Anyway, okay.
Sorry.
So
I had to bring a little Mike Myers humor in there.
Yeah. So we're going a little further.
That has that much hatred for another individual, and especially for parents. So there is a parent that actually cried, and I said, "Well, dude, I'm gonna have to.
It wasn't me.
Go live really quick and have to address this. I didn't even have the courage
to point that out.
So I actually typed it out." And it's like atheists were laughing at it, and they don't even know what the hell's going on. I'm gonna let them, stew in their ignorance.
It was funny.
Anyway, but that's what
I wasn't fucking laughing. I'll tell you that.
What we were laughing, what Praise was laughing at, or what Rage was laughing at, was the fact that Praise mentioned something about how he didn't have the courage to say it. So he's like two-fisting a paragraph. It takes him about 10-15 minutes to kind of ham-fist this one paragraph out on Notepad for all his audience to see as to the reason why he's distancing himself from smoking. And it's just like, that's what Rage is like, dude, just fucking use your words, man. What the fuck?
he was writing his breakup with Smokey letter online live, and that was pretty funny. But do you remember when John Maddox did that, his letter to Matt Dillahunty? And he did it live?
No.
Oh, shit. I wonder if he took that video down. He might have taken it down. I might have a copy. But anyway, he did a live letter to Matt Dillahunty apologizing for, the whole debate fiasco where he had to go fund me and then Dillahunty. Okay, Dillahunty got mad at him. Well, then John Maddox did a half-hour video or a 15-minute video calling Dillahunty all sorts of names again. And then later on that night, John did a live stream where he was putting together an email to Matt Dillahunty to try to apologize to him and to get him to debate him again. And I don't know whatever came of it, but it was funny. But it was very similar. He was backing up and erasing things and like, okay, no, that sounds too arrogant. I got to rephrase that. It was funny.
Yeah. You get to watch. You get to watch the mental process, and when you see the first initial mental process, you're like, really? I think you should go with your. I think you should just go with your gut, buddy. Just go with your gut.
And you could tell that he thought something was too arrogant, so he backed up and he retyped something that was even worse. It was just
that sounds funny.
Yeah, it was a fun video.
I know when I'm writing an apology letter, I like to make sure I have a full audience to watch my mental process.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Man, but see, at the same time, you piece of shit mother. Oh man, that sounds too rough. Back that up.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is that video was in full view of Matt Dillahunty himself, right? So he's seeing the whole putting together. That doesn't work. I mean, if you're writing a letter to your to your wife explaining why you slept with that girl, you don't want to do that online with your wife watching.
It was a great deal. She offered me a 2 hours for 1 hour deal.
Oh shit! I can't say that. Back that. Okay, erase that part. You didn't see that, honey.
Oh shit! She doesn't know it's a prostitute. God damn it! What are you doing?
Anyway, it was exactly like that. It was rich. I can't remember. I suppose if anybody knows the date of that supposed debate, I could probably find that video. But anyway, okay, we're gonna roll it.
But that's what happened anyway.
So I think to say, has there been another breakup?
It's not even that. Like, it's beyond that though. LPP. It's like it's almost like it's like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like, when someone gets in a car wreck and they die, you call it like a tragedy. It's a tragedy. That's the only way I can explain it. And I'm in the position now. I can't budge. I mean, I can't even. If I even speak with him in the same channel, you know what people could possibly think about me now?
Yeah.
That I validate such a hateful human being. So I'm in a really tough spot. If
Foreskin, you know what people will think of you, Praise? You're being you and you're flip-flopping, kid. But anyway, yeah, continue. He gets into his LPP gets into his little monologue here in a little bit. It's coming up very shortly.
So it comes around me because of what happened on my show. So it's tragic. I want it to be a strong community. Me, you, SFT, many others, to be a strong unit and just really go out there and face the enemy, the opponent.
The enemy.
No, we can't do that. No, it's all about bitterness, drama, hatred, division, city, and slander too. Slander's a horrible.
About just you've heard me rant on this before, but all the infighting, it's like, who is the freaking enemy?
Right.
And I've had a major problem with that. I've taken much grief from different people over it, like not wanting to get involved in some of that stuff. And I'm like, I'm not gonna give the enemy the ammunition that they're looking for, the justification to perpetuate their talking points and to continue to leverage the weak-minded and the weak-willed by, do you see what's going on? That's Christianity. That's theism. That's, if you believe in God, that's how you are. You want to be like that.
Right.
Well, that's pretty much what I thought. Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we? Yeah,
but there's a problem here. There's a double standard here that he gets to that I find very interesting. So you're seeing a mentality. I mean, you'll see it later. So I'm spoiler alert. It's not like he probably hasn't said this stuff before, but you'll see where basically he's presenting. What he's doing is he's saying, we can't present division. We can't have these kind of divisions or these kind of disagreements on here. If we're like Smoky Saint, where we're presenting ourselves as having real true knowledge of what Christianity is, and these people the people that Smoky is challenging, these people are idiots because their understanding of Christianity is somehow is defunct, corrupt, evil, whatever the case might be.
All right, buddy.
It's the same mentality that they're going to use against atheists.
Yeah.
It's the same mentality. All that Smokey is doing with these Christians is the same thing that they like seeing happen done to atheists by Christians.
Yep.
Now, if all of this was going against the atheists or a atheist, they would love it. They'd be all
Exactly.
backing it up, and
Yeah.
I mean, you hear them. We need to take it to the enemy. We are the enemy. They hate us,
Yeah.
you know. And it's if that was you know, an atheist rather than a Christian that Smokey did that, they'd be thrilled to death and they'd be backing him up.
Yeah.
Right?
But if Smokey does it to a Christian, saying that Christian is the enemy because that Christian should know better, understanding Scripture, but they're doing something that he says is necessarily dishonest, or they're being intentionally dishonest with the religion to thwart people's understanding of what true Christianity is, he'll go after them just as hard as any atheist, and they don't like that.
Yep.
So
But
you have to give Smokey, you have to at least give Smokey props for being consistent to an extent. But what John is basically presenting to praise in those guys that are there is what we need is a double standard, something that applies to us, to atheists, but not to each other.
I'm a little confused. Didn't Maddox said that he doesn't do this? That he doesn't engage in this kind of thing?
But has he? I don't know.
Okay, I've got a video somewhere. Remember, I can't find it. I don't know where the fuck it is. I'll find it. But anyway, this video was on Praise's stream where he was talking gently to Ryan the Presbyterian and calling him a motherfucker and telling him wanting to know where he lives so he could drive out there and punch him in the face and like all this fucking. I mean, Maddox went crazy for like 20 minutes on Ryan. I think it was Ryan the Presbyterian.
Yeah. Yep.
And now he's claiming that he doesn't do this.
Yep.
Well,
really,
I'm sorry,
what he's saying is he wants all the Christians to stop this garbage because they look stupid, and that's
but he was
exactly
doing it
what-
himself.
Right?
He
But
did
he's
it
like,
himself.
I don't want to give them any ammunition. What I don't.
Oh,
I
he
want them to
did.
stop looking so stupid because we really are stupid. But I want to hide it so nobody knows. Like,
But the real trick to this is, and again, we haven't gone as far as this little speech of his doesn't go on for too long. But the interesting thing is that when someone like John is telling people this is giving this advice, like, hey, let's keep this infighting down so we can focus on the enemy and not give them ammunition. What he's doing, in a way, it sounds like he's creating this narrative that what some atheists are going to do, or all atheists are going to do, is look at Christianity and say, there's your problem with Christianity. Now, I don't doubt that there's probably some atheists that might think that way. I myself don't take it to necessarily the religion, but to the individuals that hold to the religion.
Exactly.
That's where I think that.
Yeah.
If they're doing that, because not all Christians will have necessarily the mentality that these guys do, where they think, oh, well, it's perfectly fine for us to badmouth the atheists because they're the enemy, but let's not be badmouthing one another over doctrinal differences in the faith, because then the atheists will look at that and say, aha, you guys are just as divisive with each other as you are between you and us atheists or agnostics or other non-believers. That's it.
Well,
that
goes to my idea that the creationists and the fundamentalists and the real hardcore Baptist type Christians are that way not because of Christianity, but because of who they are as people. Yeah. It's what they want to do. So they're attracted to that hardcore, going against the grain, like all of science and all of that bullshit. There's a reason why they're attracted to that particular holier than thou crowd, and it has to do with who they are as people.
There's biases and psychological things that are going on with these people that they use religion to bolster. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
For a particular faith. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and it's no accident that they're Trump supporters, anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers at the same time, and anti-climate change. It's all in that same fucking basket. That same. I don't know how to describe it, but they see somebody with a mask on.
Mentality and thinking process.
They see somebody with a mask on and they think, oh, there's this is a leftist. I don't know. They call them soy boys, and they got all the woke, and they got all these like derogatory ideas, right?
Well, it amazes me that a bunch of people who will basically say, you people who are wearing masks are just followers and sheep, while you have a group of people who have used not wearing masks to join together under that, under that narrative. Like, oh, we're not sheep. We don't think that anybody should be masking at all because we can't help it that you people are pussies and are just going to believe whatever you're told on the internet and by Fauci and all these other idiots. We're just doing what we want to do, and we have our rights, and we get to choose to not wear a mask if we don't want to. And then 50 other people behind them going, "Yeah, join with us," and then they all get together.
Yeah, exactly.
They're doing exactly the same thing. It's just everybody else is just going, well, I'm just doing what they recommend so that I'm not getting anyone else sick or possibly helping, not spread this. And you're like, oh, fuck that. Who cares if other people get sick? You don't know that. Why are you wearing a mask for? Don't restrict your breathing for some other jackass in a grocery store. What's wrong with you?
Well, they interviewed this one father, and he was at some kind of anti-mask rally or something, and he said he was going on about how his son had the right not to wear a mask, and he had the right, to keep his kid. And then they asked him about his son, and he said, "Oh no, he thinks it's cool. He likes it. He thinks it's like a Batman mask or something." Yeah. So it's like, what? So you're protecting your kid from wearing a mask, and your kid wants to wear a mask. So what the fuck are you doing out here? It's like hard to figure how they think.
Like kids give a shit,
Yeah.
I don't want my kid rebreathing in the coronavirus that they might have in there.
Oh my god. Okay. Let's see. Maybe Maddox starts up here.
Yeah, he does.
Of course you don't want to be like that. They use it as a manipulation tool.
Just like Rage was doing against me tonight. And he put 2 streams out on me. And then he doesn't even know the context. Like I'm just saying, I guess it is kind of irrelevant. I'm just saying you're right, though. There are people out there that will try to use and exploit that.
Pause that for a second, because that's a good point. He says that Knock doesn't understand the context. He did a video about you flip-flopping. You
about
said
the context.
The context of what he was saying is you were saying you have been supportive of smoking, not supportive of smoking, supportive of smoking. He does a video saying now you're in support of smoking, and then not 24 hours later, you do another video saying, no, I can't deal with smoking anymore. You literally gave him more context.
Yeah. Yeah, but God, I still want to defend Praise a little bit here because he felt the hurt from people, right? When Smokey did that. And Praise is kind of being. This is the reflective Praise. I know tomorrow he's going to make up to Smokey again, right?
Speed. I got to pause you there. Okay. Smokey sent Praise videos validating why he was making that accusation about Bill, and Praise agreed.
Oh no,
that was months ago.
But
shit is old. Yeah,
Praise is our special child, and we have to encourage him when he does go in the right direction. We have to encourage him a little bit, okay?
Well, remember, only us atheists belong on the short bus, not him.
I don't know. I just have hope for Praise that someday he's going to actually go in the right direction for more than 3 days. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Just for 3 days.
Okay. Okay.
Well, we are talking about, and again, I'm referring to the atheists, like
atheists.
The one
brings you up
anyway. Let's just be blunt; they're not that bright.
Oh no, pretty dumb.
I mean, the things they take out of context, or when you hear their interpretation of something, it's like, oh my goodness, you are so dumb. Like, well, let's use Speed of Pudding as an example.
I just want to point out that, like, when we do some like dry humor on John, he doesn't get it. And then he comes back and he says, oh, we took that out of context, not realizing that we took it out of context on purpose. So who's the idiot here, John? You're just, he does this over and over again. He misses the joke.
But here's the other thing. He's presenting the same mentality that he's saying they shouldn't be presenting amongst each other.
Right.
He's just presenting it now towards atheists, and now specifically you, Speed.
Yeah.
It's the same mentality. You're dumb. You're stupid. You don't understand what we're fucking saying. Blah, 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 blah. It's the same mentality.
Yeah. Okay.
That guy thinks that if you're a creationist, or just Christian in general, we think that God is like actively inserting his power into like the formation of a zygote. And like when babies are being born.
Oh, he still doesn't fucking get it. He doesn't get it. God, what an idiot. It's like, how many times do I have to explain this to this motherfucker? I just did a post today trying to explain to him that he was doing exactly what I was. It wasn't that I said that they believe that. I know they don't believe. That's the whole point. The whole fucking point, John. You're not getting it.
But I've met Christians that do. That's what he doesn't understand. I've met Christians that believe that God has his hands in all of the manipulation of everything. So some Christians have no problem. They have no problem. They say, well, I don't have a problem with evolution because it's just a system. It's just what we observe. God basically made things. He kind of set things in motion, and that's kind of how things are running. But some Christians go, no, you can't have that because then it's a system that's just kind of running on chance. God has to be there for all of that to actually take place. His will is always there, basically doing these kind of things. I've met some Christians, it's rare, but I have met some Christians that believe that God's hand
is in everything,
his power is into all of that.
That's the thing. They're all different. Yeah, they put the hand of God in all different places, and they're all different.
But to tell you the truth, those guys are more consistent in their belief than these guys are, and that was my point. My point was that no young Earth creationist believes that God's hand is involved in turning a zygote into a human being, which is exactly the opposite of what John got out of this. So I know that no young Earth creationist believes that, yet they will not say it out loud. If you ask them about it, they'll slide right away to the history or to evolution. They won't say it out loud because they know it's going to fuck them in some manner. But the people that believe that God's hand is in everything, they're actually being more consistent. I mean, it's for them, it's miracles all the way down, right? Which makes more sense. I mean, that's as hard to refute as last Thursdayism, right?
Yeah, I think, because philosophically we can say, well, God's hand is in everything, right? For these Christians, we can say, okay, I concede, I get it. They go, oh, no, you don't understand. God's hands are into everything because he made everything. Yep. But do you think that God's hands were in everything, starting these systems, making these things, and they're just kind of doing what God wants them to do? Or do you believe that as these systems are running, he's making changes along the way? And if they go, that latter one right there, then you go, yes, then you believe that God has this, he's intervening in the processes that he's already set forth.
Yeah, and the theistic evolutionists believe that God did the initial push with the Big Bang, and then everything else unfolded. And these guys believe that God did big pushes along the way, just like Helter Skelter, right? Like he created Adam and Eve, he did the 7-day creation event, and then he left everything roll by itself. But, you know, the people that believe that God's hand is in everything, pushing every molecule all the time, I think are more consistent than these fuckers who come up with these odd little miracles that happen. Like, okay, we got the resurrected Jesus, you know, it's like, couldn't we have like 6 more resurrections? I mean, there are a few people I'd like to see.
What about prayers? Like, they all believe that prayers are answered all the time, right? So
they're totally inconsistent.
It's all over the place, and you can't figure them out.
Yeah, that's why it's very important to not do what John is doing and generalizing all atheists as generalizing all Christians this way, when we're
Right.
sitting here saying that what we're basically saying here, in case John listens to this later, is that it's very important when you're having a conversation with somebody who says they believe in a God, what God do they believe in, and how do they think it works?
Right, exactly. Where were God's little fingers involved? We want to know exactly what you think. So,
You
anyway.
you're the one that believes that God does everything. Tell me how he does things and when he stops doing it and when he just says, yep, I've milked that engine and that engine is running real fine. It's running fine for right now. But let me know if it needs to get fixed and maybe give me a prick.
Right.
And
Yeah.
maybe after 100 years or so, maybe I'll step in and fix it.
Yeah, after the patient dies. Okay.
Hey, Speed, check your email.
Yeah.
God,
My email?
Yeah, when you get a chance, Peter's been dying to get at you.
Oh, okay.
No, not the Dutchman.
The
That's
Dutchman.
right. The Dutchman.
We're going to let the Dutchman have a link, I think is what he wants. Where the hell's my email?
I gotta get with that. I gotta get with that young man.
You're probably going to very shortly, Jay.
When I first saw it, the only reason I'm saying that is because this sounded like something that him and I could collaborate on. When I saw Praise's video and I saw the thumbnail, it was just black screen and it said the end. The Doors song popped into my head. This is the end. This is the end, my friend. It's like it'd be cool to actually do like an edited video, putting that song to it. It'd be fucking great.
Now I feel a compulsion to go watch Apocalypse Now.
Exactly.
Where did Peter ever get the idea that I paid attention to chat?
I don't know. But eventually we have to intervene.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to roll some more.
is like is using his power to
Oh, what an idiot.
make all this happen. And it's like, dude, I don't think that the stork brings babies to the nursery, okay?
Oh my
It's
God.
not what we're arguing over here. Like, have you not paid attention to all of our the debates and all these different things where you guys are over there in your little echo chamber talking about how like all Christians think that you know all that crap, and he went so far to say that none of us will even admit it. We can't admit that that's not what we think.
Yeah, they won't say it out loud. They won't say it out loud. That's a weird thing. They'll fudge. But okay, here I am, brain the size of a planet, small planet. It's a small planet. And I'm dealing with this fucking idiot. And I can't get him, even in chat, I can't get him to understand what I was actually talking about. So what the fuck do I do with people that are this stupid?
More specific, less nuance.
Well, listen to what he said.
Yes.
They're sitting over in their echo chamber as he's sitting in a room full of Christians
In his echo
in
chamber.
an echo chamber. Like, that's just stupid. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Chris. Chris Peacock. Yes, I'm being very rude. I'm sorry. I'm involved. I hit a wall about 2 days ago, so I'm in my low cycle. So kind of give me a break, guys, for a few days. I'm gonna forget fucking names and I'm gonna fuck up. So I'm just in my low cycle. My brain is down for maintenance. It has been for 2 days. So I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but it is. So, anyway.
Which lobe?
All of them are in the shop right now, being worked on.
So you're running on, what are you doing? Running on a backup coprocessor or something?
Yeah, exactly. I'm ready. Well, the stomach has 30 million neurons, so that's what I'm running on. Yeah,
you're speaking straight from the gut. Gotcha.
Straight from the gut. Right there, you go.
The whole funny thing about this echo chamber, like if you look at Praise's channel, you got Andrew who goes on there. He goes on Neff's channel all the time. You got Mark Reed was just on Praise's channel. When John did when he would do his open rooms, atheists would go in there all the time. Do I ever see John coming over here ever? No, he's invited all the time, but he never comes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if we do get him over here, I'm going to have to put everybody back room and we'll try to have a one-on-one with him if that ever happens. So,
Yeah, I would
anyway.
do it.
Okay. On a
And I'm
roll.
like, man, you are a deluded old fool if you actually think this. And on the flip side, when they attempt to, comprehend things from the spiritual aspect, it's even worse. And that's the irony. Like, to me, that's about as dumb as you can get on the, his God interacting with the chemistry and such. But on the spiritual side, they're actually even dumber. And then we continue to perpetuate their own little internal justifications for why they're an atheist.
Spiritual out. Spiritual
I
out
know.
like it was.
Yeah, they'll use it for their own excuse.
He threw out spiritual like it was just like, yeah, that's something that, I mean, it's like, man, it's like these guys, it's like where you're trying to teach them exactly what the temperature of boiling water is, and they just don't understand it. You give it to them in Kelvin, you give it into Fahrenheit, and they just don't understand when water actually comes to a boil. And it's just baffling me. And then there's these things called spirits, right? And they're just like when water comes to a boil. It's like, wait a minute, what? How do you get spirit in there? What is that?
Oh, my God. It's so hard to listen to this guy fail.
Yeah, I agree. They're petty little devil bots. I don't know. I'm pretty sick of them too.
There are people that, not figuratively but literally, want to talk about farting unicorns and pixies creating the universe.
All right, I gotta stop.
Yeah.
Foreskin real quick. Foreskin. There's a real problem with it. Now, I understand that there's some derision, and there has been because of these concepts that have been used to compare, to basically say, to justify,
Right.
you give a reasonable justification why you believe in universe. It's not farting unicorns. It's unicorns and universe farting pixies, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Either way, to not go on too long of a rant here, you've got two different. So let's just take a unicorn and a god. Those are both concepts, but they are different. So they're not equal. They're only equal in the sense that they're not even really all that equal conceptually, because the unicorn has an object-concept relation. What's the object of a unicorn? It's a horse.
Yeah.
What's the object of this particular Christian god?
Yeah.
Good question. For Greek gods, for Roman gods, and for Egyptian gods, there were objects that were attached to those concepts. All you're doing is you're just using whatever ridiculous concept is to get people to think, why do you believe this God to exist, and why do you not believe that I have universe farting pixies in my backyard? It's just a mental exercise. That's it.
Yep.
It's not meant to basically compare and say, well, your God is just as useless as a concept as universe farting pixies. And I'm sure that there's probably some atheists who have thrown that in Christians' faces and said, your God is about as useless as this concept right here. But that's not all atheists. So fuck off, John. This is what closes down. This is what closes this kind of mentality that John is showing right now, and this generalization that he's doing is why the conversations with Christian theists and atheists and agnostics and other non-believers, it starts to degrade, because they start attacking, like in this case, he specifically mentioned you, Speed, as an example of why all atheists adhere to the same kind of deluded mentality as Speed over here, and this is why they're bad. Congratulations. You've just, in a very softer way, done exactly what Smokey has done, not only to atheists, not only to agnostics, but also to fellow Christians.
Yep.
You're no better than him, John.
Yeah.
Yay!
And not only that, but him putting that little icon and sporting it, this universe farting pixie, is kind of making, he's perpetrating the thing himself. I mean, he's talked about it more than I've ever heard any atheist say it.
Yeah.
So I mean, what the hell, John? Oh my God.
I thought they did.
Well, in evolution, you have to wonder, like, how close to imagination do you get? Like, a T-Rex turns into a chicken? I mean, come
Nobody
on.
will ever accuse praise of having an imagination.
Is this the mental misery we're going to?
Or anything else for that matter. Anything of value cognitively, obviously. I don't know.
I've tried to even see his. I've even tried to see like the benefits of even his sense of humor, but I don't. It just comes off cringy and weird. It's like,
yeah. I do applaud when he has moments where he actually truly feels things and he tries to do the right thing, and he's kind of rare in that. You know, I think he's a nice guy. Okay, so I don't know.
I used to think that until he threatened to kill me.
Oh yeah, well, there's that. Well, you know, that could have just been that was just a brain glitch. You know, he has brain glitches. Okay, you got to forgive him. You know, God,
what's even better is the fact that Rage is saying that the narrative is something to do with me and a shotgun. I'm like, no, there was no shotgun involved. No, the only gun that was involved was sticking it to Nicola's neck. If he was an atheist, he'd put a gun to Nicola's neck and blow his fucking head off. That's specifically what he said. With me, he said, Jay, if I ever fucking see you, I will fucking kill you. He didn't say anything about necessarily using a gun. But it was funny that Knock was doing that. I'm like, how did this get changed to a shotgun? Where did the shotgun come from?
Oh my God. Okay. Is there any more?
You can play. Yeah, there's a little bit more, and then they kind of go quiet after. I guess they get an awed from John's wisdom.
Okay.
It's imagination.
I think he sums up a point here, maybe.
Yeah, man. So, John, we need to get you. We got to get you back like Michael Jordan, the 45 jersey where he came back, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all. They start getting.
That was tough. That was tough to listen to. So I kind of thought that that's what John was thinking, but I didn't. But I even thought he was smarter than that. I mean, but obviously I was wrong about that. So he's actually that fucking stupid that he has not got the point.
All I did was I scrolled through it and I saw that and I listened to him and something what he was saying caught my attention. So I scrolled back and I started listening to it. And I'm like, John, you're presenting the same mentality as Smokey.
Right.
So, yeah, it didn't make any, it was just like, but I didn't really hear him criticize. I don't know. I didn't hear anything from him because I didn't watch all that stream. What he had to say necessarily about Smokey having accused Bill of murdering his daughter. So I don't know exactly what John's thoughts are on that, other than we need to stop doing this as Christians because the atheists are just sitting there going, ha ha ha, look at how fucking stupid Christianity is. I'm like, no, not necessarily. I'm saying, look at how fucking stupid some of you are.
But I wasn't laughing at that part. I thought it was. It's like God when you listen to these people sometimes freaking out on each other. I mean, I'm fucking. I don't find it funny sometimes. I find it really fucking.
Yeah, and it
scary.
Sounds like. Yeah, and the thing is it just sounds like it's just a difference in doctrines. Bill holds to this thing called antinomianism, and Smokey thinks that that's not Christian, and so the fact that Bill holds to that somehow makes him not a true Christian, and so he has corrupted his daughter who has passed away. So in essence, he had killed her, and I'm like, how did
he really believes that? Holy fuck!
That's what it sounds from what little I have gleaned from the conversation. Because Smokey kept throwing that at Bill. He kept saying, "You and your antinomianism bullshit is what's condemned your daughter," or blah 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 blah. I'm like, Smokey, do you know that their daughter actually held to the same necessary doctrinal beliefs as her parents?
Right.
What part of it do you think it's just? It is necessarily the case that these two parents, Bill and Teresa, had a daughter. They hold to antinomianism, so therefore their daughter holds to antinomianism. Now, it could be the case that she does, but you don't know that. She may not agree to that at all.
Wasn't she like 9 years old?
She was only like 10, I thought, right? So it's like, how much can a child really understand? Like, seriously. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, I wasn't even sure how old Bill's kid was. So either way, that's even worse.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Did I actually put the link out in the chat? I think I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to invite Daniel. Daniel seemed to have some things to say today, a little iffy. Be nice
Daniel
if he came in.
Bennett?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
I know.
So what is the story with him? Christian, obviously?
I think
Yeah,
so.
he is.
Yeah, he was back.
It seems to
He
be.
thought we were, John was smarter than all four of us. That was one of his first comments. And we hadn't even started talking about John yet. Yeah.
John used a double
was
negative.
25.
One of his last statements was literally a double negative. So let's not get into whether John was smarter than us.
Yeah.
I think his last thing that he said, one of the last things he said in that little speech that he gave, that little monologue that he gave, was a double negative. We said something like, can't do this. Something like, he said something to that effect. I'm like, you just used a double negative. You really want to get that petty, John? Let's get petty, shall we?
Shit. Anyway. Okay, so I linked a whole bunch of stuff in chat or in the description, and we don't have anything else, I guess, other than we could go over that Otangelo thing, I guess.
Sure.
Ooh, what Otangelo thing?
Oh, with Mark Reed. Did you catch that one?
Yeah, Mark
No.
hammered him on Praise's channel a few days ago. Yeah.
I did catch a look. Oh, that. Yeah, I didn't listen to it. I know what you're referring to, but yeah, I didn't stay to listen to it.
You want to give it a listen?
They were screaming at each other. Yeah.
Yeah, probably because I was at home and the in-laws are staying with us for a while, so I was like, eh.
Oh, Red Fang saying that Bill's daughter was 25. I thought
she was just a kid.
Oh, okay.
25 is very young, and you still don't tell somebody that, your daughter's in hell because, whatever.
Well, I think Red is just
stupid.
Yeah, Red's just giving us the detail that she's not young. She was in her mid-20s. So.
Right.
I suppose somebody said she was 10, but I guess I was wrong.
Yeah, but either way, even at how does Smokey know that this 20-some-year-old girl who is sick actually held to the same doctrinal beliefs as her parents?
Now it makes your point even more solid because you just, at least somebody at that age can make a decision on a different, something else, yeah. So
this Daniel Bennett guy's come in twice in a row now, and he fires off a bunch of stuff and then leaves, and then refuses to.
He's going by Dan Dennett.
Oh my God.
Bennett, right? I think it is, isn't it?
Dan Dennett, one of the Daniel Dennett, the philosopher. Yeah, that's a troll.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yep.
I maybe their real name really is Daniel Dennett, but I'm thinking that they're a troll.
Yeah. Well, I think he came in as Daniel Bennett the other day, so I don't know. But anyway, to use Dan Dennett's name in vain is heresy.
Yeah. We rebuke you in the name of Daniel.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, to me,
the power of Dennett.
To me, Daniel Dennett is as close to the second coming as you're going to get. So, anyway. Oh, let's see. We got something from Dessel here. Okay, I'm going to play this. I think it starts here.
That's basically where we're getting into the idea of common ancestry. Because once you have common ancestry, you know that these things must be related. And they most likely evolve.
Am I wrong about my timestamp?
So that's kind of how we know that fish and amphibians
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Well,
it started at 156.
Have you ever had proof of one time of a like being changing into another like being? You've never. I mean.
Well, this is the same thing as a dog giving birth to a non-dog. Evolution doesn't work like that. It works with populations, not
at least some sort of like transitionary, beings in between. But no, we don't.
Sure.
Really
no, we do.
Hey,
We
Mark,
do have a. Hey, Praise. Hey, Joan. Angelo, rational. But I can't see we have evidence of a unicellular or a single-celled algae turning into a multicellular organism. Multicellular algae.
No, we don't.
Yes,
We don't.
It's wrong.
I can grab the paper for you. That's not a problem.
Oh yes, of course it's not a problem. So
Yeah, it's not
let
a
me
problem
ask.
at
Okay, so let me ask you, what evolved first? The
can pause that.
communication between.
Did you say foreskin?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't say foreskin, but thank you for pausing it. He told him he was wrong and then didn't back up how he was wrong. Now he's asking him a question. Otangelo to Mark Reed. He goes, no.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
Otangelo for you.
Let me ask you this question. Wait, before I answer your question, how was I wrong?
Yeah.
Justify that claim first, then I'll answer your question. But yeah, sorry.
Or the proteins which are required to stick them together.
Okay, hang on a second. This is Rich.
The communication between two cells, or the proteins which are required to stick them together.
The answer is the communication between two cells, but I'm sorry.
Sorry, just 1 second. I'm just grabbing this paper for you.
No, I don't want
No,
to know
I don't want to see the paper.
I don't know.
You said there was no paper. I'll grab the paper.
I asked you a specific question, and I would like that you answer my question.
What was the question, sir?
Hello.
My question was, in order for you to have multicellularity, two essential things had to evolve together.
Two things had to evolve together.
Okay, take that portion right there, and the next time Otangelo comes in and he wants to cite something, and you guys have asked him a question, play that clip for him.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
Because he's done that to me. He's done that to. No, let me show you this. Let me give you this link. And you can,
I'll show you the paper. Yeah, he didn't want to see the fucking paper. But anyway, his question is so fucking naive that, like I was talking to Mutable earlier about this clip and how later on they get into what Otangelo knows. Anybody who knows anything about this stuff can tell that Otangelo doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And this shows it right here very clearly that these two things had to evolve together. Now, why did cell communication and the stickiness of cells, the extracellular matrix, why did that have to evolve together? It did not. There's no reason for it, and we know that it did not. And it's just like, he just shows his own ignorance, and then he absolutely refuses to acknowledge that his knowledge is limited, which he does further on here. So.
Yeah, and then the great thing is
people don't seem to be attuned that he's changing the subject on them for some reason.
Yeah, that too.
I know it's hard, like when you're in the middle of a conversation, it's hard not to be diverted. But yeah, Jay's right. He did not say, hey, would you please answer my question before we go on?
Yep. Okay. Let's see what Mark says.
If I was Mark, I did that to Otangelo. One of the last times I had a really one-on-one conversation with him, I think it was in my brother's stream, it might have been mine. I asked him, I said, how does God do this? And he could not answer them. He goes, well, what can you give me? And I said, I don't have anything. You're the one claiming that God does this. How? And he would not answer that. And then he got frustrated and he left.
We do hear you, Midnight. We do hear you.
Hello.
We know you're there, Midnight. We know you're there.
Are you sure? Because I feel ignored.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we can always hear you, Midnight. Even when you're not here, we hear you.
Jesus.
So, wait, you're delusional?
Yeah, sort of.
John already said that.
Yeah.
John already accused him of being.
Yeah, he already pointed that out. How dumb I am that I think. Oh my God! Don't get me started on that shit again. Okay.
One is communication between two cells, and the second is that there would be proteins which stick them together. So what evolved first?
I don't know.
What an idiot.
Okay, so you don't have any background to make the claim which you just made.
What claim did I make? What claim did I make?
you said that there is evidence that a unicellular eukaryote could evolve
Yes.
into a multicellular
He's just
organism.
adopted.
Yes.
When I asked a very
Yeah.
specific question, you say to me that you cannot answer it. If you cannot answer my question, Mark, you have not the background to make the claim which you just made.
No,
But the people
Wait a
who
minute.
wrote this paper have the background.
Yeah, so you-
Otangelo.
so
no,
you-
no, no.
so
Let
you
me
are
finish. Let
trying-
me finish. Don't talk over the top of me. Otangelo, be quiet.
Portion real quick.
I just linked you the paper in there with the people who do have the expertise and know
Portion.
way more than you do, sir.
Real
Mark
quick.
kind of lets
You
them
see
have
what-
it.
You see what he did there? He didn't. So now he's going after. Now you don't seem to understand. He said that he was wrong, but now he's not. Since now Mark is saying he can't. He's now accusing Mark of not being able to give him that. What Mark has answered with is now evidence that Mark Reed doesn't know what he's talking about. But Otangelo hasn't said how Mark was wrong.
Yep.
Just wanted to point that out again.
Yeah. Otangelo is kind of changing the subject in a devious way, but
Yeah, it's
Mark is not buying.
it's a subtle burden shift there.
Yeah.
About this topic.
What
They
do
have
you know
written a
about my
paper on it.
knowledge? What do you know about my knowledge, Mark?
We
Do
know
you
it's
think
bad.
you know more than the PhD scientists that wrote
That's
this
not
paper?
what I
Is that
said.
what you're claiming?
I'm asking you.
Well,
what
then they
do
know
you
more than you.
What do
If-
you
if
know
you
about
don't
my
know if-
knowledge? What do
if
you
you
know about
don't-
my knowledge? What
If you
do
don't know as
what
much as
do
them,
you
then they know more
about
than you.
my
That is
knowledge?
basic
What
logic.
You made a claim about my knowledge. What do you
I
know
know
about
that you
my
get a
knowledge?
lot of things wrong. I know that you take papers, cherry pick
Where do
through
you
them,
know that?
select what
Where
you
do you
want
know
out
that
of them. Then
Okay.
what you do is you put
Okay,
your
tell me
own
something.
conclusion at the
Okay.
end of those papers and then claim that the paper is supporting you. I see you do it all the time.
Right.
That's what
and
I
what
know
is
about
wrong
your knowledge.
And what is wrong about my conclusions?
So you're adding a
Not
conclusion
supported by
to
the
a
papers.
paper. Just 1 second. Adding a conclusion to a paper that does not conclude in that way is a misrepresentation of the paper. It is what will get you kicked out of any university worth its salt in any country for intellectual dishonesty and a lack of academic integrity. You don't understand this because you've been doing it so long and so frivolously
You
that you
are
think
a
it's normal.
liar, sir. You are lying about me.
No, I'm not.
No.
You are
You
a
add your
liar.
own- you add
You
your own
are
conclusions to
lying
papers, and the
about
fact,
me
the
because
fact
I
that you
am
won't
free.
even look
I
at the
am
paper that
free
I've
to-
connected.
Hold
I
on,
am-
guys.
Oh, he's trying
Let's
to
let
get
one
the
talk. Let's let one at
Okay.
a time talk. Go ahead, Otangelo. We'll
I
let
want
Mark
to
respond.
answer to that. First of all, what we have is evidence. Second, what we have is a philosophical inference on the evidence. I am free to make my own conclusion,
Yeah,
and
you
that
are.
is not a lie. We can make various conclusions or inferences based on the evidence, and you
Yes, but what does the
accusing me
evidence
that
lead
I
you
am
to?
lying. That is you.
Okay. So Otangelo now is going to this. I draw my own conclusions because I'm actually smarter than the people that wrote the paper. And we're both, but somehow the people that wrote the paper are providing the evidence that Otangelo needs to draw his own conclusion for the paper. I don't know what the fuck. What are these
Yeah,
people?
that doesn't. I think that sounds like he's doubling down on what Marcus said. He's taking something that it's giving clear information and comes to very clear conclusions because it's a scientific paper, and then he's saying he's extrapolating onto that his own biases to say, well, what they're saying here, one can now just take this leap and say, because of God.
Yeah, and disagree with the paper.
Exactly.
Using the paper to disagree with the paper is
Well,
kind of what they do.
From our experience, doesn't Otangelo and also likewise some of his colleagues, quote unquote, don't they?
Yeah,
pull
that's using it
their
loosely.
conclusions. Don't they pull their conclusions or their cherry picks from the abstract or the conclusion, and not from the data and the observational part? They're
getting their conclusion by first presupposing that that a particular deity does exist, and then leading the evidence to their preconceived conclusion that this God does actually exist. So then they're trying to find ways to affirm and confirm all of that by saying, Now I don't even have to show you that a God necessarily exists. It's perfectly fine for me to infer this, and you should believe it based on my inference.
Well, like
When
what I'm
you don't
talking about
actually
is like they pull it from the abstract where it says this space has something 10 to the 22nd power. I forget what it's called, but you know, and then there's this whole paper where they present the data, or at least their
and that's okay.
and then they do their
I was
conclusion.
thinking of a different abstract, not the abstract in the paper. Sorry.
Yes,
I was
if you
thinking
pull from
abstract.
the abstract, you're not really using information to draw conclusions. You're not drawing conclusions based on data that's used in the paper. Now you can say, well, this information that you've analyzed does not lead to the conclusion you have, but you got to do the work to be able to say that. And that's I agree with Mark in what he said. I have early on, especially when Otangelo was still coming on the channel a lot, I would take his references and look at the papers, and he was always misquoting them or misapplying them. I would take his links and go to the pages, and they would be these god-awful messes of copy and paste references that have been put in a blender. And then you would pull out finally maybe have to do a Google search, and the papers would usually be by YEC people and places, you know, channels all over the place disproving them or you know, refuting them. So it with Otangelo, he has no integrity with me. And well, I could say plus he believes in Noah's Ark is real and up in the mountains.
Shrouded Turin.
He believes in the Shrouded Turin. You know, the guy is not building a body of credible work.
And just for the benefit of the audience, if you don't get anything else from everything that we're talking about, there's two critiques that I would make for what Mark Reed has missed two opportunities in this conversation with Otangelo. When Otangelo said, "No, you're wrong," Mark didn't ask him to show him how he was wrong, and now Otangelo has now accused him of being a liar, and I haven't heard Mark ask him, "Why do you think I'm lying?"
Yeah. We know that the only things that they get out of the paper is from the title and from the abstract, and they might cherry pick a little further down. But when they talk about looking at the evidence, what they really mean is, oh, look how complicated it is. They don't mean anything else by evidence. So it's just, okay.
Lying about me, because when I make a different inference of the evidence, that is not lying. That is what my logic says. That is the best explanation of X. If you think that another explanation is a better explanation, I am not entitled to accuse you of lying. I will respect your conclusion because that's what you're free to do. I am not saying that.
Wait, no.
Accuse him of being a liar.
Yeah, exactly. He's called him a liar, and oh my God!
Wait, how did he twist? How did he get to him calling Mark a liar to him saying, "Well, I wouldn't call you a liar when you're calling me a liar"?
Right.
Mark didn't call him a liar. Mark said that based on what you're doing, you don't understand this information, and you're being disingenuous. Being disingenuous or misrepresenting information doesn't necessarily mean that you're being a liar. You could just be completely batshit fucking crazy. But then he goes, "You're a liar." Well, hold on a second. I'm justified in saying that I think that you're getting this stuff wrong because you've seen the shit that you've referenced. Some people have gone over it and said the conclusions that you've drawn from this are completely ass backwards or completely wrong. That doesn't necessarily mean you're lying. You could just be fucking stupid. But now you're telling me I'm a liar for saying this.
I think
and now he's turning around saying, "I wouldn't call you a liar." You just did.
You know, I just noticed the guy I can't sit is in there unless someone just named themselves that.
Yeah, who is he?
I don't know. I guess some insane person.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, he's somebody new. Or he's somebody old, we don't know, who's changed his fucking icon because they like to do that. Okay.
I feel called out.
What's that?
I feel called out.
You?
Yeah, I changed my icon. It was a joke. Never mind.
Oh, yes. Okay. You do all the time, too. You're one of those fuckers.
I don't believe this, but I try others to delude or to lie to them. I cite because that's what I believe. So I'm telling you, stop lying about me, Mark, or I will never again talk to you.
No, I'm not saying that you're lying about your conclusion. What I'm saying is that you're lying that you're saying that the poor paper supports you, because it doesn't. The paper supports its own conclusion, not your conclusion. And that's where you are lying. The paper does not support you. You've made that up. You can say, hey, my conclusion is this, but you say the paper's conclusion is that. And that is the lie.
I don't do that.
Yes,
and
you do.
You are lying about me. You are lying about me.
I have seen you do it.
Everybody's a liar, Otangelo.
Repent and stop lying about me. Yes. Okay. So you
I
will
don't
answer
even know
to
what
God.
that means.
So you will answer to God for lying about me.
I don't believe there's a
claim
God.
that you are doing about
hey,
me
I
is just
don't know what
Daddy
you're
can-
talking about.
I very clear.
Now appealing to being punished by Father.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like it's like you will, I'm telling Daddy on you when I see him.
You're getting a spanking when Daddy comes home, because I'm telling.
Yeah. Yeah, this conversation with
actually, I don't have to tell him. He already knows.
This conversation with Otangelo and this lie is important enough that Mark Reed is condemned to an eternity in hell because Otangelo, yeah, that's how important Otangelo's conversation is. Oh my God.
When I say the evidence stated in the paper is this, they make that conclusion, but I disagree with that conclusion. I think another conclusion is true for this and that reason. That is not claiming that my conclusion is the same with what the authors of the paper say. So stop lying about me, liar.
Then why do you try to
lying
use the
about
paper
me,
to
liar.
support your own conclusion when the paper doesn't support that conclusion? It's intellectual. It's academic dishonesty, is what it is.
No, it is not, because the evidence. No, it is not. The evidence is one thing. What we conclude, we are free to conclude whatever we want based on the evidence, and it is.
They keep talking about the evidence, but they never actually tell us. They keep referring to the evidence, but they never actually talk about the evidence that the paper.
He's not getting into anything that's, sorry to interrupt, he's not getting to any way of finding truth. Based on what Otangelo is doing, I could flip that and use that the same way to infer no God.
Yeah, exactly.
That is not informative to anything that's true necessarily. He's just saying, I can believe whatever I've conjured in my head to infer this information, which may not actually be what the conclusion of this article is, but it's perfectly fine for me to infer it for my own personal reasons, then come on these channels and then espouse it as some kind of truth to everyone else. Great. Now what happens if an atheist does the same thing? You're gonna fucking laugh at them because they're not giving you anything true.
Right. So Andrew Cumming had go ahead.
Nope, you're all good.
Andrew Cumming had an earlier conversation with Otangelo right before this.
Yeah, can I read his comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the same convo where Otangelo admitted I don't need to know the origin of a car to say it fell off a cliff, but then backtracked and said I need to know how a bio stopped to prove evolution.
Yep. And Andrew used a good example. Anyway, okay, I'm going to play more. It ends shortly, so it isn't too long. So
cool. Oh, they kick him?
Not dishonest.
Huh?
Do they kick Mark?
No, watch what happens.
If we disagree with the author, and when we clearly say, I disagree with the author's conclusion for this and that reason, that is not being dishonest. You are lying about me, and you are a liar.
No,
Shame on you.
Use intellectual dishonesty and
a
false religion of
integrity to misrepresent people's papers, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
No, I'm not.
You would be kicked out of any university. You would be kicked out of, Otangelo, and if you are familiar with academia, you would know that. Because that is a lack of academic integrity.
No, it is not. I am
It is.
integral because I think I make the right conclusions in regards to pointing to God, because I am not restricted to academia that I need just to have
Yeah, it
naturalistic
shows your ignorance. So
explanation.
thanks. It
No,
does
it
show your
doesn't.
ignorance. It
Yeah,
absolutely
okay, you
does.
are
So,
ignorant.
Otangelo,
Yes, you are
can I ask you a
ignorant.
question, Otangelo?
Go ahead.
Hey, question. So you're the one claiming religion, and Mark, you're basically like agnostic or unbeliever. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
so it depends on your definitions of agnostic and atheist. In the modern sort of contemporary sense, I am an agnostic atheist, but you know, in a classical sense, you might just call me agnostic, and I'm fine as long as you understand my position. I'm fine with whatever label you want to ascribe to me.
Otangelo, you're a theist, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, Mark, the reason why you can't come to theism is because of Otangelo's hypocritical bullshit, right?
No.
What?
What do you mean? Anybody
Well,
who
I
claims.
mean,
Okay, so Otangelo sins, but everybody knows that you can't sin to get into heaven. I mean, it's really just a simple
Oh
thing.
my gosh, let's
Well,
not
what-
get started down this rabbit trail.
I don't understand that at all, and quite frankly, I don't know what sin is and how it applies. I mean, I think you're referring to some kind of moral structure, but
So perfect. So like 1 John 3:8 says that if we say we have no sin, then we are a liar and the truth's not in us. So like an atheist would say like, oh, I don't believe in sin, that law doesn't apply to me. But you still beat yourself up every time you lie, you steal, or who knows. Some people are addicted to murder and all sorts of crazy shit. For me, it used to be masturbation, watching porn and shit. I just could not stop doing it, even though I was going to the building once a week.
okay.
Well, then once I actually opened the fucking book,
Okay, so we got to think about him whacking off the porn now.
Who was that talking?
I can't sin. Okay, David, didn't you tell me that he mentions this over and over again, or was that Scott? Yeah.
He makes sure you know that he used to jack off all the time and
To porn, yeah.
felt guilty about it. He got saved, and now he doesn't want to anymore.
Then he opened the book. He opened a
he
different
opened
book other than Hustler. You know, before he was reading Hustler, then he opened the Bible and he couldn't whack off anymore. Well, that's fair.
I'm sorry, but after a few days, you start building up a stank bank in your head. You don't need porn.
Yeah. I don't know. But reading the Bible does cause you to not want to masturbate much, I think. I don't know.
I don't know. You read that thing about the, emissions like that of a horse, that's pretty erotic shit right there.
Oh, yeah. I suppose. Yeah.
Or whatever that verse is.
I haven't read that deeply, so. Okay.
I actually opened the book and I saw that the law.
Oh my!
Fulfilled so I didn't have to be under the law anymore, because that's what I was doing. I was in bondage to the law that's written on my heart. I was subconsciously judging myself by that law, the Ten Commandments is written on my heart. Well, guess what? He freed us for ourselves. That's why in Romans 6:7 it says that for he that is dead is free from sin. I died in my flesh, dude. I was going to the buildings just trying to do what I thought was honoring God, but John 5:41 says that I received not honor from men. Here's the mindset: the buildings, they want to make you think you still sin, so you can go to that building once a week and put that shame money back in that collection plate. But in all reality, you can't do anything to honor God. He did everything to honor you because he loves you. That's why when Jesus got crucified, the temple got destroyed, because beforehand they had to give offerings because sin was in the world.
Can you pause that? I want to give a little something. And this right here is prime example of what I like to call the health food fanatic Christian.
Okay.
What I mean by that is that he's sitting there telling Mark how Christianity has benefited him.
Yep.
Right. But he hasn't gone too far as to say, now you should do this too, because it'll be great for you too. But there seems to be like a mentality among certain people, and I don't know if anybody here has ever met them. I've met them. In fact, I used to be one of them back when I was a vegetarian, that when I found out the little interesting things about food preservatives and things that you probably shouldn't be, consuming, things you shouldn't be eating, I used to basically kind of be a little bit Budinsky and say, well, if my dad was eating a Snickers bar, I'd be like, Dad, you really shouldn't be eating that. There's a lot better things that you could eat. Here, have a box of raisins. You'll fart more, but, it's not as bad.
Were you a militant vegan?
Not quite, but you start gaining this information, especially when you're young, and you think, oh yeah, this is really cool. There's stuff out there it's not necessarily all that great for you, and you'd probably be better off not consuming it at all. Well, I kind of took that and was kind of like I said, being a little bud in scheme, telling people, yeah, you're probably better off not doing it. You should probably eat the way that I eat, because if you eat the way I eat, you're going to feel a whole lot better. There's that mentality. You see that mentality in religious people.
Yeah, no, you do, and it's something that it seems to be obviously a human trait, right? It's part of.
It's zealousness. They're zealous.
Well, there is zealousness, but at the same time, it's the desire to see other people doing well, because you think what you're doing, will make them, will make them well. I phrased that poorly, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, so we got 4 minutes of Otangelo left. This guy shuts up in a minute, I think, but he's kind of interesting. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah,
So.
No longer need for a temple. Your body's a temple, and the spirit inside of you do what makes you, like, your personality, the thing that makes you feel love and all the spectrum of emotions. That's God in you. They just don't want you to figure that out. That's why they've been lying to us, and they make it more so a building.
Yeah. So I'll just stop you right there, because my moral framework doesn't include any holy books or religious books or anything like that. So I'll just stop you right there. And I don't believe in a God. So I don't know how this would apply to me.
Well, it's the Wild West if that's the case. For me, the only moral absolute is going to be the Word. Now, here's my proof, though. I've gone against people that have been combined studying the Bible 70 years before doctrine and before councils, and they couldn't touch me because they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. I just was I'm a piece of shit, just like, Mary Magdalene, David, all the broken people of the Bible, and then he revealed it to me. Here's my only proof. If you listen to what I'm saying, the whole Bible will unlock for you. You can just a fledgling in the faith, you can go and destroy your local pastor and show him what a hypocrite he is.
Got the same mentality as Alfred.
Okay, Daddykins, what were you saying, Jay?
He's proving this guy is demonstrating exactly what I said. His mentality is like that of a. See, I talked to these other people and they didn't stand a chance. What I was saying was right, because these people couldn't refute me, and if you do this, and if you're like me, this book will just open up for you, and you're just gonna get all this shit. Well, thank you, Mr. Sales Pitch. Fuck off.
Hey, look at what Chris put in there. Eric Hoven is another porn addict.
Oh, he's another one that said he was addicted to porn.
I guess so. I never.
You know what? You know what?
About that. What's up?
You know what? I read. Like throughout the years, I've seen a lot of people talk about how porn addiction is bad. It's like, well, I was addicted to porn, and I got out of it. Therefore, everybody is addicted to porn. Like, no, honey, just because you got addicted to porn.
Are you sure you're addicted to porn? Or are you just using that as an excuse because you like to play with yourself a lot?
So James Tour is another one that said that he came to Jesus through porn. Like, porn has done more. Porn has done more for Christianity, according to these people, than anything else.
I know.
Thank God for porn.
Yeah.
Actually, it's interesting that you bring that up, because you guys ever see the show Lucifer on Fox? It's not the greatest of shows, but there's it's a police procedural, but the guy, and there's one, and I think I brought this up before, where they're dealing with a crime that involves like a porn star, so they're in the porn, they're dealing with the porn industry, and Lucifer goes, no, he goes, these people are all going to heaven. These people are doing such great work. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because there's no guilt here. They're doing a great service. It's all about enjoying each other, enjoying that sex. I really like what you're wearing over there. And it was just like, that's just an interesting. So, what you said, Speed, just kind of reminded me. It's like, it's done a lot for the Christian faith.
I don't think I remember that part, but yes, I love Lucifer. I need to go back and watch the second half of season 5.
I gotta watch that episode. Anyway, okay.
I gotta find it, but he's sitting there. He's just like a kid in a candy store. He's like, this is great. These people are awesome. They're all blessed.
I've been so naughty, Jesus, punish me harder.
I fucking love Lucifer, especially the concept of hell they have, to where you just relive your mistakes over and over again as punishment.
Spit in my mouth, Jesus Christ.
Oh God. Yeah, we're all going to hell, right? Okay. We got 3 minutes to get through here, and we're rolling up on 6 o'clock. So. Okay. I'm going.
They make them den of thieves, and that's what it is. They devour widows' houses, dude. They're fucking hypocrites. They say gay people can't get to heaven, but yet they.
I think that's enough from Motor Mouth.
Yeah, I think that's a long diatribe with a lot of ranting that I don't know how it, like, because I don't, like, to get me to where you are, you would have to convince me that God exists to begin with. So none of the stuff follows from where I am. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why you're telling me. Maybe you're saying it for the entire group kind of thing. You're just
Okay,
making a point
Danikins.
for some reason.
Okay.
Another point of view to look at it from is I don't know where this guy got his spiritual training or whatever, but I know one of the big things they always taught in Southern Baptist circles is if you don't know the right scriptures or don't know what to say to them, just give them your testimony. There's power in the testimony because people will see that ordinary people can come to Jesus. And when you have a powerful, conversion from something icky to something sainty like that, like people on drugs or something like that. Like there's this one preacher I know who got started in his preaching career because he was addicted to drugs, came to Jesus, and then he wasn't addicted to drugs anymore, So, and he would just go around telling people about that and showing pictures of what he looked like when he was at his worst and everything. And, that's what they're talking about.
There's that one preacher that debated, what the hell's his name, Murphy, that basically he came to Jesus after he tried to axe murder his father or kill his father with a hammer.
Oh God! Please, why the fuck do you gotta remind me about that guy? He is the creepiest fucker I have ever.
He is creepy as fuck.
Like, dude, stick to your fucking religion. You want to believe in God? Fuck you.
I'm sorry. Mark missed a really a good opportunity here to ask him. Ask this guy when he says I don't masturbate. He goes, I was addicted to porn. Then you ask, do you still masturbate?
Yeah.
Right? So it's one thing to be addicted to porn, but do you still masturbate? And he goes, oh no, I don't even feel the need to masturbate. I said, oh, so you just wait for nightly emissions? What do you do after that? What happens when you have one of those dreams that's so vivid and you're having sex with someone that you've never even met? And you wake up and you go, there's something sticky in my pants.
Honestly, I want to have a dream when I'm being fucked by a demon.
Oh, that's TMI.
What?
TMI.
Oh, sorry. I just.
Okay, roll the video. Roll the video.
Yes, roll the video.
Roll that beautiful being
rape situation. You can
cut the clip out.
I don't think you can choose to believe. I think you're either convinced by things or
persuaded.
You're not convinced. And you can be persuaded. I mean, you can persuade yourself. You can convince yourself. But I don't think that's a very honest way to go about believing things.
No,
convincing yourself.
Dude, I'm perfect. I can't stand. I found the truth. I know Jesus.
Face.
Okay.
You're lying.
Okay.
Hey, Mark.
Face. I'll assume, but let me just make an ultimate.
Danikins?
Yeah, that guy who said, I can't sin, I'm saved. There are people who believe that you can get like an extra dose of the Holy Spirit, an extra measure of grace, and you won't sin anymore.
Oh, like the booster shot?
Kind of like a booster shot, yeah. And it's not a very widely held belief, but there are plenty in the Pentecostal kind of, independent kind of circles that do believe it.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get that booster shot. So, anyway. Okay.
With remark before I leave. You see, praise how dishonest and despicable that these people are, because
These people.
They have created a framework where God can never be mentioned as the best explanation of the evidence which we see in the natural world. And when we do so, and then they say, oh, but the authors of the science papers, they do not come to the same conclusions as
Correct.
you do. Therefore,
Correct.
you are dishonest. That's the
No,
dishonesty.
that's not what I said.
I've not finished. Can I finish, please? And I'm not talking to you, Mark.
Do try not to straw man my
Praise.
argument.
No, I've not strawmanned your argument. I am just talking in general. So what do? We are not allowed to take the scientific evidence and then to come to a different conclusion that the authors of the science papers come, because we permit the evidence to lead wherever it is. And when it leads to the designer as the best explanation, then I, as a non-academic, I am free to do so, and we are free to do so, because that's what we think the evidence leads to. Now, when we do that, then the stupid idiots like Mark Reid, they come and accuse us of being dishonest. That's despicable. You are just...
Or you can be like...
Personal attacks now, is it? Personal insults now. Is that what you're reduced to, essentially? Okay, so you're free to make a different... Okay, so just...
Okay, and then he left. That was it. Interesting. Yeah.
He probably left. I'm not going to hear this man because...
Yeah.
That was his mic drop moment.
Mic drop,
he thought that was his moment in Footloose where Kevin Bacon, convinces everybody that dancing's cool.
Oh
my God.
Last comment that she's giving us some health advice. Stephanie's giving us a little bit of health advice.
Oh, what is it?
Oh, man. You should put her last comment up there. Can you see it?
It's healthy for a man to ejaculate at least every 3 or 4 days.
Whew.
Yeah, I'm like way behind, so I got to go.
Yeah.
So get going. Yeah.
You got to go?
Yeah, I'm way behind on according to that. I mean,
it helps to have a goal.
Eric won't fix your porn problem. Eric Hovind.
Yeah. So okay.
How is this guy still free? Honestly,
marriage won't fix your porn problem. What woman did you marry?
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't marry anybody. I don't know. Is he married?
Yeah,
it's only really a problem if you can't pay your Visa bill.
There's so much free porn out there. It's you don't even. Yeah, it's ridiculous though.
You want to listen to this one?
Sure. Is this Eric Hovind?
Yeah.
Why isn't Eric in jail?
Parents that were leaders in the church. There were huge expectations on the children. My dad was a famous evangelist. My mom was a piano teacher and a piano player at the church. I literally grew up in the church. I learned how to fake Christianity. I learned how to be accepted among my friends. I learned what to say and what not to say, because
Wait, did he
that
say
was the
fake
environment I was in.
Christianity?
Yeah, because he was spanking it. He was spanking it 24/7.
And Satan started really early in Eric Hovind's life trying to destroy it.
Why did he just refer to himself in the third person? That's weird.
I don't know.
The first time I was exposed to pornography,
he was a bad
in
man.
5th grade at a Christian school.
Wait, what?
Wait. What is it? Wait.
I remember that being...
Daddy-kins!
What? When? 3rd grade, did he say?
5th grade. I think he said 5th grade in a Christian school. That's fine. What does he think pornography is? Does he think it's like Penthouse, or not Penthouse, but like Playboy or Maxim?
I don't know. I'm
just in the woods.
Because I've heard some Christians be like, that's.
I know.
If a woman is taking pictures and she's scantily clad, right? She's in a bikini. They're like, oh, that's porno.
He saw a Sears catalog when he was in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was going to ask what section of the Sears catalog, but I'm not going to go there. People can infer what they want. Remember, it's a free country. You can infer whatever you want.
It was probably the ammunition and firearm section, but I don't know. Not sure.
Look at those big loads.
That didn't end for a long time.
Sorry, it was too easy.
I thought, well, I'll get over this pretty soon. This is something that just kind of it passes by. You don't want to talk to anybody about it. You're kind of embarrassed about it. So fear of the unknown, but at the same time, wondering about the unknown, you just kind of keep going. And
We've disappointed Dessel.
Being raised in a Christian home,
Did
you
we?
know those aren't things you're supposed to look
Yeah.
at. Those aren't things you're supposed to do. Sex was never a conversation in the home. It was more like the taboo.
Yeah, I
What
can
is with
imagine.
the-
Talk about.
Hold on.
I just kind of
Shenanigans.
continued
What
to
is with this music? It's like all
suppress it and act like
sappy.
I don't know. It's supposed to be dramatic or something.
It's to keep you from jerking off to the sound of his voice.
I think it's the Jesus coming music. Jesus is coming music, I think. I don't know. Not in that sense. I didn't mean it that way.
it
I
didn't exist and act like everything
sure
was
you
fine on the
didn't.
outside, but inside, man, Satan was getting his hooks in deeper. Thinking at 14, well, when I'm 16,
Okay, I just want to point out to everybody, to any youth that are watching, Satan is not your penis. They're not the same thing.
I wonder if that
kick this out.
Velociraptor or
When I'm
whatever
18.
that is behind him is some sort of symbolism, for
Yeah.
like Satan or
Your penis.
sexual addiction or whatever.
Sex raptor. Sex raptor.
It's a sex raptor coming to devour you.
This won't be a part of my life anymore. And
Gobble,
as soon as I
gobble,
get married, that'll
Oh, he's driving a clean car now. That's good.
take care of it. And it doesn't. That's not the end. It just keeps taking you
Every
farther
once in a while,
and farther.
somebody change out the
It'll
lube in your
take you
drink
farther than
bag.
you want to go, and it'll make you pay more than you want to pay. I still remember laying in bed at night, and I'd wait for my wife to go to sleep, and then I'd turn on the TV from right there in our bedroom, and I'd watch stuff that I shouldn't watch right there in our bed.
What the fuck?
And it wasn't until God allowed my wife to confront
Boy,
me
his wife must have really
that
sucked
I
at
got
it then.
really
His wife caught him. His
Yeah.
wife woke up and caught him.
She must not have
It's
been
like-
very good. I mean,
You fucking idiot! That's what your den is for. You idiot! You don't turn it on while your wife is. Jesus Christ!
I said, you know what? If I don't confess the truth all the way, Satan is going to keep a little bitty toehold in my life, and he's going to use that to dig down deeper because he had done that over and over and over. I said, I'm done with this. I give up. Here is the whole truth. Here's everything.
Do you need a hand, dear?
And that's the best thing to do. Is
He's going to the beach to masturbate now because his wife caught him.
to give up.
That's where he's
To be-
living now.
To be humble. You see, honor comes
There's
after
a culvert, a drainage ditch where he
you
lives
gotta
now.
humble yourself.
Oh fuck! Okay, we disappointed Dessel. So Dessel, I'm
Sorry, Greg. I know we didn't live up to your high standards. I do feel ashamed of myself for watching a video like that instead of studying
Okay,
science.
what video did he say to watch?
Basically, a Discovery Institute panel or something with some of the creationists.
Yeah, the SF.
No, I want to hear more about Eric being caught by his wife.
Oh. Yeah, I know.
When
Okay,
did that
so
happen?
does anybody have a?
Let's talk about transitional forms. No, I can stand to hear a little bit more about Hogan's sex issues.
Does anybody have a link to that video that Dessel was talking about? Because I thought I opened it, but I apparently lost it in my browser. I'm about to
Did
get
we
browser
lose them in
Tourette's.
chat?
Huh? Yeah, but it was way the fuck back, so I don't know where it is. So Dessel, went to link that again. I thought I put it in the description, but I'm not sure. Anyway. Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought
I've heard a lot of that. I mean that went right along with what was going on.
what's that?
That was fine because that went right into what that guy was talking about with
I
Mark
know.
Reed about masturbate, about being addicted to porn, and I'm like, I've always been kind of just. If I ever had that conversation, that's what I would do is to say, do you still Well, I was addicted to porn. Okay. Do you still masturbate though? Huh?
Yep.
You're no longer addicted to porn. That doesn't necessarily mean you don't masturbate.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh yeah, every once in a while, just to keep the urges down. Okay, what do you think about?
I don't know. Well, I guess if you're raised he was raised in Kent Hovind's home, right?
I don't know, but probably.
Yeah. Eric Hovind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting backstory. Yeah. Well, I guess you got to give him credit for admitting it out loud, but it just seems kind of fucking weird. This whole sexual conflict with and Jesus coming to save you from it. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Twisted, pretty twisted.
Well, looks like Myth Vision just popped up where he's having a conversation with Canadian Catholic.
Oh my God!
Oh my! That ought to go well.
Yeah. Does Derek know what he's getting himself into?
Oh, the long story short thing. I spotted that this morning. I was going to review it, Dessel, but I want to review it before we review it here. So fuck you. Just, give us a break. We're busy here in the production studios of Answers in Atheism.
And his brain is still under repair, remember?
Yeah, it's still under repair. Yeah, still getting it fixed. I don't know when this is going to let up. Anyway. Okay, guys, I think we're going to shoot it ahead. What do you think? Where'd midnight go?
Sounds good.
Midnight hit and run. Hit and run by midnight.
You never see him when he's gone. It's like, where is that? Where was that man? I wanted to thank him.
I know, he just disappeared. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
He could be wearing a mask. You never know.
Like Superman swoops right in. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to shoot it in the head.
Yeah.
Here we go. What am I hearing? Is it important?
No, nothing. Jay's
my radio in the background.
Okay. Goodbye, cruel world.